Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's new episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends. And indeed, I have a bunch of friends with me today, one of which you know as the Pony Slasher himself, Eric Griggity, my brother from another. How the heck are you, bro? It is so great to have you back here. And you show up at a time where Sony has raised the prices and there's been no pushback by the games media. Hell, I haven't even seen an article. Welcome back, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is to be expected, like especially with Xbox raising their prices in America early this year. And PlayStation raised their prices in Latin America first.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah, they did. So this is no surprise. But we'll get into it, man. But thanks for having me.
Great. It's great to have you here. And of course, just again, I said it privately and I'll say it publicly. If you're not already subscribed to Dirt, the We Bleed Green podcast has been a place where every week that they do a show, I can't wait to press play, whether that be doing the wash, whether that be mopping the floors, or doing my 4.8 miles on the elliptical at the gym. Joey, Sean, Ray, yourself, you guys have been killing it. A lot of funny. And again, I appreciate the backup when you made that guy the POS of the week. My heart was like,
yeah, man.
He's
trying to throw shots. Yeah, I don't play that mess, trying to throw a shot at you, and he was wrong. So yeah, I got to call him out, man.
I definitely appreciate that. But Hargeet Chani, folks, if you only heard some of the things that I heard behind the scenes, this man is so intelligent and he's got stories for days. We missed you last week. Obviously, you're with family, but you are back. And you know what? You guys are here today where Gamescom has taken over the conversation. We got some information on Replaced. We got a He-Man side-scrolling beat 'em up. Oh my God!
Yes.
I couldn't believe it.
That's on my alley
of course,
right
Black
there.
Ops 7 looks just like wild.
4-player co-op? Hell yeah.
Player co-op. It just, I mean, listen, there's a lot to get into. And of course, we're going to open up, ladies and gentlemen, with the Sony news. But Hargeet, welcome back, brother. Great to have you here.
Yeah. Missed last week, but here we are, and we have Gamescom. We have some announcements. We have opening night live stuff, and we got to see a little bit of the ROG Ally today, and we didn't get the release price, but whatever. We got the release date.
We have the release date. We do, but and you know something, folks. While we're talking about Sony, I have a theory. Now it's out there, so obviously it's my personal theory. Do I think it's going to happen? The answer is no, but it's interesting nonetheless. But look, let's get right into the price increase. Dirt, you said it before. This is not a surprise because they've already raised the price in other countries. It was only a matter of time before they raised it here. Now, again, for some, give credit where credit is due. Before this, they did have I don't know if it was a week or two where they did lower the price. A lot of people bought consoles. Look, we know that their consoles sell, right? That's just Sony sells consoles. That is what they do. Now, is it a metric that counts? Yes, it does, folks. It matters. Does it matter as much as it used to? Well, the answer there is no. It does count. It does make them money. It doesn't make a lot of money, but it makes money nonetheless. And every time they sell a console, the person buying the console is likely to stay in that ecosystem, and that's what they want. Now, granted, obviously, they're not blowing up the charts with with software sales with their own stuff, but they're still doing well enough in the third party. And the truth of the matter is that this is not a surprise. But what is a surprise, and actually it's not, Dirk Griggity, is the fact that there has been practically no coverage. Now, I said this in the green room, and I'll say it publicly. Sony, they're slick. Right, they didn't do this last Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday because Friday bad news happens. They did it in the heat of Gamescom, where most journalists are in Germany, at least some of the bigger ones. We know that Paris is out there. Now, Paris is not a journalist, but he does have a YouTube channel. Obviously, Destin Legary's out there. We know everybody from Xbox Era is out there. So a lot of the coverage or the coverage that would come because of this price increase, which would feel, would be pointed because nobody wants the price increase. No one's talking about it. I haven't seen any stories, and you're probably not going to see stories. This is going to, as they've done many times before, the press is going to either give this a pass because it's tariffs, so this is what happens. I get it, but Dirt, are you surprised that once again Sony is given the red carpet even with bad news?
Well, shout out to you because I really didn't think about that until you mentioned it in the pre-show. Knowing Sony, they probably could have strategically placed that news when they know there would be a lot of other coverage going on with Gamescom, a lot of games announced, a lot of updates on games. I mean, so I wouldn't put it past them, but obviously, we can't prove it, but we don't know. But as far as the price raises, like I said in the pre-show, I'm not surprised by any of it. They raised their prices in Latin America. I believe was that earlier this year or maybe last year. I remember when the PS5 Slim is the first slim model of a console that went up in price in any generation. So at the end of the day, it's this isn't just about PlayStation, obviously. It's about where gaming is right now. Because like we just talked about, Xbox raised their prices earlier this year in May. To be more specific, tariffs or whatever the reason is, it's crazy, man. Like boom, like we're similar in age. I believe you're a little bit older than me, but
yes, I'll be 55 in September, as a matter of fact. So double nickels for me.
yeah. So you got me by like 6 years because I turned 49 in a month. So we've lived through every generation, literally, right?
Yes.
My first console was Atari 2600, so I vividly remember every generation and. Every generation, when there was a slim model, the prices went down. There was never a generation 5 years into the generation where the prices of consoles have went up. This is crazy, man.
It is.
I mean,
yeah,
this is a very weird generation. I understand that the generation started during COVID, and that was just crazy from the beginning. But the way this generation has been going, games are taking 6-7 years to develop. Like AAA games. Stuff just like all the layoffs. It's just a crazy generation for me. But PlayStation raising their prices is not a surprise. I will say this: a lot of I don't know if a lot of PlayStation fanboys thought that PlayStation wouldn't raise their prices because they were talking a lot of crap when Xbox raised their prices. So I don't know if they didn't think they wouldn't raise their prices. Well, if they didn't think they would raise their prices, well, they were in for a rude awakening because obviously they did. But it is what it is. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, it's the times that we're in. None of us would have thought. And again, Dirt's right. Like we're OGs, right? So we started with the Atari 2600, and even back then, like I honestly, actually, you've heard me say this before. Like we weren't rich, not even close. My pops was blue collar dude.
Mm-hmm.
Worked Monday through Friday as a construction worker. When he brought home the console, I couldn't believe it. Like
right.
It just was crazy. But you know what's funny? I obviously this is a personal story that I'll tell live on the air. When my pops brought this thing home, like we weren't poor, but we weren't we were like just middle class, if that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember saying to my brother, "Did Dad steal this?" Like, because we didn't have money like that,
right?
And I know it has nothing to do with nothing. It's just a funny story. It's me. I'm clear as glass. I don't mind telling personal stuff like that, but this is a wacky generation for a multitude of reasons. Mm-hmm. I mean, forget the fact that Gears of War is going to PlayStation and Helldivers 2 being promoted by PlayStation with Helljumper skins. It's cats living with dogs and all kinds of craziness. Yeah. It's just so. But to your point, I don't think I could recall a generation where console prices, especially on a slim unit, went up. Like that's unheard of. But Hargeet, Dirt made a great point, and I want to reiterate the point about there's no one writing about this. And I think that in a day or two, everyone's just going to accept it for what it is. There'll be no slander. There'll be no pushback. It's just Sony being Sony. And look, I got to be honest with you. It's ingenious. They make the announcement during Gamescom. Everyone is preoccupied doing, covering Gamescom. It's the biggest event of the year, and there's nobody talking about this. Ah, man, it's just Sony being Sony. Let's get your thoughts on the price increase.
Yeah, so first, to be fair, both IGN and GameSpot, I just checked, they both have articles on this. So they do actually have, the major media is writing about it. I don't know if it's more of there's no like buzz about this, right? It's just because there's so much other news. So fair enough. But they are writing about it, to be fair. Is it being written in a negative, like, oh my God, Xbox, how the hell did you, why did you increase the prices? You are just scum of the earth. No, it's always it's somebody else's fault. They couldn't possibly be almighty PlayStation doing something bad.
Right.
But Dirt, you pointed out they increased the prices everywhere else. So if you want to blame tariffs, well, did everybody else's tariffs change? So why is that increase happening? It's a money grab, guys. Like, whatever. They're just done taking any bath at all. They want to make money on these consoles. That's the way it is. Xbox did the same thing. Supposedly, they're now also profitable, and they're just done with this taking a bath on the console shit. They're just done with it, right? So that's the way it goes. Is this unexpected? I think when Xbox did their last round, we're like, don't be surprised if PlayStation doesn't come around and do the same thing, guys, because it's likely to happen. It is what it is. This is just the world we're in now. It is crazy that prices are increasing after 5 years, but not. It's a weird world. I don't know. It's a different world now. The exclusivity thing is gone, right? So crazy, you have to look at the whole thing and say like the whole plan of making money has changed entirely. Now the vast majority of the money is made with black hole games that are everywhere.
Right.
And
no, you're right.
Free to play. Right. They're
right.
Like,
yeah.
So it is what it is. This is the world we're in now. And they're like, okay, so what is our platform for? It's not the exclusives. Yes, one or two here and there may actually hit. The majority of them don't hit. They sell just enough to make it by. It is what it is. Why are we seeing them all go to other platforms? Because they want the money. Like,
there you go.
Making enough money. It is what it is. This is what's going on. So am I shocked? No. If it was, let's say it is even tariffs. Okay, they're just done taking any level of any bath. They're like, nope, we want to make money. That's it. This is all it is. So things have changed. It is what it is. PlayStation has now increased their price. Will there be one next year? Probably, because it seems to be every year price increase. It's crazy. Like, that's the way it is. So we will see what happens next. But now officially, I guess the most expensive console is the PS5 Pro. It is no longer the 2 terabyte Galaxy Edition Xbox. It's now the PS5 Pro, which I suppose it should be that way, right? It's a more powerful console. So fair enough. Whatever. We are where we are. I don't know if I really need to give more slander or anything. It's just, it is what it is. It's very odd to see.
It's not going to be over
5 years in.
It's fine.
It's just, it is what it is. This is all I see now is like everybody who had this idea that this was all like fun and games. No, it's just money and games.
Yes.
That's what
literally
you're seeing. It is now all about the money. This industry has become so massive that there's just no way around it. Right now, it's a lot of investment. Once you get a lot of investment, it's a lot of shareholder profits. That's what you end up with. So people are going to keep finding ways to make more money out of you. That's what they keep doing. So, like if they're already kind of on the downturn anyways, right? Both of them. I don't know if anybody's buying any Xboxes, but especially PlayStation, they've seen declines now in hardware sales. And so they're not getting to the same levels of the PS4, not by a lot. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there. And, they're seeing declines. And so they're like, no, we're just going to milk it for as much money as we get. And I don't blame them. This is the way it is. If you're going to keep buying them, they'll keep taking the money. That's it. So so if this suddenly says, oh, we had a 70% decline in sales, then they might change their mind. But do you think that's going to happen? No. It's what it is. It's going to hit their projections. It's whatever. It is what it is. We're going to take it. And again, the rest of the world, those prices already increased, guys. So
Yep.
Whatever. I think this is just standard economics. This is what they're doing. They're no longer going to take a bath on any of these components. They're like, nope, these consoles will come out at whatever cost we have plus profit. You will pay the profit. That's the way it is. It used to be we'll take the bath and get it in the services. I'm like, nope, we're done with that. So a lot of that used to come in like, you have to pay for the online, right? Well, now they're giving you games and they're like, oh, these games cost money. So we don't have as much margin there. So this is what it is, right? And Game Pass came along and said, oh, we're going to give you a ton of games day and date and ones that are not day and date. And now PlayStation's having to do the same thing and like start to actually compete with that. And they're like, you saw what's coming out this month, right? And you're like, well, why does that happen? Competition.
Yes.
Competition, which means they have to go spend money. They're like, oh, well, so we can't take that margin and use it towards our hardware? Oh, shit. Yeah, this is what's happening. Whatever. So am I surprised by this? No. I kind of predicted this was going to happen when the Xbox prices happened. I'm like, don't be surprised, guys. PS5 price is going to go up too. I would not be shocked. So, to your theory, I don't know. Like the portable, would it be the same segment? I mean,
so let me throw the theory out there for the chat. Now, folks, again, this is wild, right? It's so wild. It's not true. I'm even saying that it's not true. So take it with the mountain size of salt. So look, I made mention in the green room to the guys that if you guys and gals remember 2013, Xbox goes first. 2013 happens, and it did not go good for the Xbox One reveal, right? For a lot of reasons. Good old Donnie D said some pretty stupid things. And obviously we know what happened. Sony saw it, read the room, pulled out the camera, stopped the DRM, and made the PS4 $399.99, and it was just it was genius marketing at its absolute finest. So seeing what happened today, the Gamescom kicks off with the ROG Ally, right? This is not a surprise. Xbox told us that this was going to be a big part of the show. So, of course, most people that are interested in this thing want to know what it can do, and they showed off a bunch of new things. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they're going to have a certified, like you have Steam Deck certified, they're going to have a program that tells you all of the games that are certified for this thing. They're doing a bunch of really good things with both ROG Allies. And obviously, we had a leak. The price leaked. And the tweet I have in front of me, because it's what I was able to find, was Wario64, who's this guy is on top of everything. He's up there with the Hazardor Gamings, and there's so many others. Shinobi 602. They get all the information. I consider them to be insiders, and they have the connections. And he had the best buy listing for the ROG Ally, which was $549.99. Their Ally X at $899.99. The 100-watt charging dock is $100, and the case is $70. Right now, he has here confirming the numbers of $549.99 and $899.99. The price is according to Warrior 64 is set in the back end at this time of posting. Now, he posted this a couple of hours ago, but my thought and theory, and again, it's wacky, folks, and it's not true, but it just popped into my head, so I'll throw it out there to the ether. Back in the PlayStation 4 days, what did Sony do? We talked about it. They pulled the camera out of the box, they got rid of DRM, and they dropped the console $100. Now, I understand the PS5 price announcement came. What if, and this is a monster size if, Microsoft pulls a Sony? They see the price, them and us and Asus get together and say, you know what? What if we were able to drop it rather than increase it? Because most people are like, oh, tariffs, it's going to be $50 more, meaning that it's going to go up $50. What if it's the other way around? Now, I know like Hargeet is dead set, and he is not wrong about these companies taking a bath on these consoles. They're not going to do that anymore. they're gonna get their just due one way or another. But what if it's the other way around? What if it's a $50 reduction? What if they dropped it $100? Now again, it's a huge, ridiculous if. But Dirk Riggedy, you know, it's a thought, it's a theory, it's unlikely it's true. But what if it is?
I guess at this point, anything's possible. But me personally, I think it's at the point where these companies, they're not going to lose any money on hardware.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, whether it's a handheld, you know, like this isn't like the original Xbox where they were losing, was it $200 per Xbox sold?
Yep.
Those days are long gone. These companies are not losing any money on hardware. Me personally, my opinion, my guess, whatever, I just think the price has like leaked out there. And I believe that's accurate. And I was surprised they didn't reveal the price at that show at Gamescom, but just my personal opinion, I feel that the price is steep, especially for the one that's $900. I just think they were like, you know what? Do we really need to say the price? Do we want to get clipped and be a meme like Phil Spencer in 2013? His face when he said $500. You know, that's kind of how I feel about it. I think it was definitely intentional that they didn't mention the price. So we're guessing why, and that's just my personal guess. So you know, but going back to what you said about 2013, I totally believe PlayStation did that. You know, because we all heard some of the stories about, you know, they had a 6-hour window to change some stuff, and they had their laptops, they had a PowerPoint presentation, they changed a lot of stuff. So I totally believe that's what happened. But you know, it worked for them. So, you know, that's what's going on, man. I don't know if we'll ever know. I just don't know if they'll actually reveal the price anytime soon. Maybe like the closer it gets to the handhelds coming out, maybe, but you know, I don't know. Boom. I was surprised that they didn't reveal it though.
Yeah, you know what? Again, if for whatever reason, that's the smoke that I have for Xbox. And I have that smoke because everyone knew that this is where they were going to reveal release date, price, and pre-orders, right? Mm-hmm. And we got one of the three. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got about 13 DMs saying, hey, Boom, do you know where to reserve it? Hey, Boom. I wish I'd be able to help everybody because I want to reserve it myself. Now, is it going to sell out? It's unlikely because Sarah Bond did confirm that they're going to be dropping this day and date to 34 countries. So it's a massive size launch. It's not just, you know, North America and they don't have them. This is 34 regions, including the United States. I mean, that's a lot of countries. So this is launching and they're going to have a lot of consoles. And the price is obviously going to scare a lot of people. Like, yeah. I don't have, you know, wastable cash like I used to when I used to be able to do overtime. I'm a retired guy. My pension's great, but it has a ceiling. Everyone makes fun of me when I say that, but that's the God's honest truth, right? So I don't think it's gonna quote unquote sell out because the price is gonna. I mean, that's $900, and that's without tax. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's a lot of money. But we, you know, again, if there was some smoke to give to Microsoft, and I do have smoke for them, it's this. It's this whole thing. You give us the release date, October 16th, awesome. And what else? Nothing. Oh, you know, in a couple of weeks. That's not what was sold to me. We were under the impression that we were going to get this, you know, get the release date. We did. Thank you. You know, get some more information on what this thing can do. We got that. Thank you. But the pre-order, you know, the pre-order and the price, folks, those are kind of important. I don't know. I mean, we kind of need those things, and we didn't get it. So again, if I had some smoke for Xbox, and I do, that would be it. Hargy, let's get your thoughts on this. I know, again, it's so far-fetched. I don't even know why I mentioned it, but it popped up, and stranger things have happened.
I mean, it's always a possibility, but I tend to think it's not. I think it's more likely they're just working out their supply chain and figuring it out. Because, like, why not announce the price for the other regions then, right? They've leaked out and then eventually announced that it's in EU for a certain price, right? We have
that's
that.
Correct. That's true.
why not tell us the Japanese price or the whatever other, like so there's plenty of options there they could have done if it really was just about the US, but they didn't, right? Canada, what about their price? What about anywhere else, like Latin America? There's plenty of options there they could have done that they didn't. I don't know what's going on there. They maybe are still in the middle of figuring things out. That's kind of weird. I think you'd be kind of ready at this point. It's really not that far away if you think about it. We're talking like 2 months, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Right. So this kind of needs to be baked at this point, right? Because this needs to start shipping out to places. So I don't know what the heck's going on. They don't really have a lot of time left to be able to tell you the price. If you want to get pre-orders in, that's going to have to start pretty soon. So it's interesting that they're having that problem. I don't know, whatever. We'll figure it out. But could it be some sort of like platform thingy? Nintendo already raised their price here, right? I'm pretty sure they did that, right, for the Switch 2. Whatever. It is what it is. Like, no, they did the Switch 1, right? They haven't done the Switch 2 yet.
Yeah, the Switch 1.
Yes,
yeah.
Switch
The
1.
Switch 1, they've done that. The Switch 2, they're like, it might happen, guys. Okay, fine. So, and maybe Boom, that actually does have a lot of comparison, right? Because it is portable to portable, right? So you could say, hey, you know what, the 550 versus the 450, is that something they want to tackle, right? And they're feeling out, hey, is Nintendo going to come out and say it's really 500? And then maybe we cut ours to 500 and say, hey, we have a 1-to-1 here. You got the Switch 2 or you got ours, right? And that's a direct, competitor then, right? Exactly the same price. And they like to do that, right? The $300 Series S was to compete with the $300 Switch 1, right? The normal Switch 1. And it was like, hey, you can go to the market and pick up theirs or ours, same price, right? And that way you have a choice in the market, right? And then we have an equivalent at PlayStation's price. You can pick up that one too, right? So, that was kind of their go-to-market, and that could be something. So you may not be off if you're comparing it to Switch 2, and so we don't know if there's like an imminent announcement from them, and perhaps Microsoft is privy to some of these things, and so it's possible that might be the thing. I would not be surprised. I don't think it has to do with PlayStation because that's a console-to-console thing. Right. And I think this portable to portable though is like a direct comparison. What if Steam Deck 2 is ready to go? And that's something they're like, oh, we want to compete directly with that. Like, I don't know when that's ready to go, right? I there's
the rumor with the Steam Deck 2 is not before 2026, but more so 2027.
So it could be it's further out, right? And so, but like, that's the kind of thing they want to play through, right? Is like, who is our direct competitor? How do we keep up with that, right? And that's where so maybe they're still in the middle of negotiations and all that stuff. So that's a possibility, right? And they might be like looking at the market to say, how do we want to compete? But yeah, eventually they kind of have to come up with answers, right? So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's actually happening. And they're like, oh, there's an imminent announcement for Switch 2 price increase. Oh, let's just wait for that, and then we'll put our prices up there because then it'll compete directly and it won't seem wrong, right?
Maybe.
So hey, it's always possible. Still waiting for that. I'm also interested in picking one up. I have a question for you, Boom. Did you like what you saw?
What are you talking about for what, the console?
The actual experience.
Dude, yes, I certainly did. Because look, everyone knows that Boom ain't a PC guy. Like I'm a console guy through and through. I have been since 78, and I haven't changed yet. And here's the thing. What they showed and how easy because they even showed, I think it was Tom Warren that said, hey, look how easy it is to switch from the desktop mode back to the full screen mode. And it was literally a press of a button. Now, I'm not going to be on
long press on the Xbox button, right? And it brings up that thing, lets you swap between games. And if you want to go to desktop mode, you can go to desktop mode. Very cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, when it becomes pre-orderable, and I get the information, obviously, I'll put it out there for everybody. Everyone that DM'd me, trust me when I tell you, I'll drop it into your DM. You get out there. I will say this in advance. There are a couple of people to follow that you should. Hazardor Gaming, automatic. Shinobi 602. A lot of people don't like the dude. Say he's a PlayStation guy. It's okay. He's not a bad human. I like Shinobi. I don't know him personally, but I like his stuff. So it's interestingly enough, he's on my friends list for the Nintendo Switch. So odd, like crazy, but I like Shinobi 602, and of course Wario 64. follow these three dudes because when they get the info, boom, it's dropped. Yep. Nico Muller is another one to follow. He's consistently out there.
He has me blocked for some reason. I have no idea why.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Oh, that's so odd. Yeah, he's a very personable human. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, say look, Abdel 114 Shinobi blocked me for no reason. That's odd. Like again, folks, look, I try not to have a problem. Look, you've heard me say this before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, anyone from Spain. Well, one of my favorite books as a very small child was Ferdinand the Bull. Ferdinand just wants to smell his flowers under his shady tree. That's Mr. BoomStick XL. That's all. That's me in a nutshell. But gentlemen, chat, we got to get into now. This is going to be kind of an open-ended conversation, and I love these. I love it because there's no script. We have three. I'm throwing myself in there. Professional podcasters that they know the business. So look, opening night live, I loved it. I loved it, and I know a lot of people were like, "Yeah, it was lukewarm." Or what? It's okay. We don't have to agree. I know we don't agree on Jeff. I know everyone's like, "Why do you like him? He's a pony." Because I like ponies, man. What I don't like is when Jeff does things that when he doesn't take his job as an ambassador for gaming seriously, and he does things that are childish. I get annoyed at him because I'm like, you're supposed to be better than that, and sometimes he's not. But whether you like him or you don't, he puts on really good shows, and Opening Night Live was another one. And I've already said this on today's. I did an impromptu show, me and Fuzzy Belvedere this afternoon. My game of the show was not Black Ops 7, even though it should be, because I was literally playing before I went live. I freaking love it. But not playing Black Ops 7, I was playing Black Ops 6. Let me just clear that up for someone writes an article. I don't have access to it. And I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing. And look, He-Man, a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's my freaking game of the show. Now, maybe it's because I'm an 80s kid. Maybe because I played with the toys. Who knows? Yeah. But God damn it, that game looks so freaking good. Holy shit, did it look good. But I you know what? Honestly, this has been a really great 2 days. Opening Night Live happened on Tuesday. They showed a lot of really good stuff. Chronos looked freaking amazing.
I can't wait for that game.
Bro, did you see that they were asking for signups if you want to review it?
No, I didn't see
I'll send you the link to sign up for it because all they ask is your channel information and a few things. I responded to him like, I don't know, I haven't got approved yet, but I also haven't gotten denied, so I don't know if it's going to happen. But I would love to review that game. That would be dope. It's been a really cool 2 days. They've shown a lot of really big games. I have notes that I'll get to in a second, but I really enjoyed what Black Ops 7. Oh, sorry about that. That was my Metal Gear Solid ring. Apologies for the unprofessionalism. That's supposed to be muted. There you go.
It happens.
It happens. Indeed, it does. But Jared, I want to go to you, man. Look, again, Gamescom, one of the biggest shows of the year. There is no way, right or wrong answer. Game of the show for you, what you've enjoyed. What'd you think of Opening Night Live? Did you catch up today with the stuff that Xbox had a great show? It was long. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I didn't, clock out after like 90 minutes. I'm like, this is really a little long in the tooth. I'll come back when it's all done and get like a list. That's what I did. But I did watch all the trailers. I really enjoyed what Xbox brought to the table. Prince of Persia. Whoa! Not only does it look good, it's in Game Pass.
I just downloaded it. Yeah,
I just downloaded it myself. I mean, wow! And a Shadow Drop from Square Enix. Holy freaking cow! Like Triangle Tactics. Yes, please. So that was pretty dope. Again, I thought it was in Game Pass. It's not. I'm buying that game. I don't even care. But what you've been, what you've been watching? What's been, piquing your interest with Opening Night Live, and more specifically, what happened today on Gamescom?
Well, Me, the Gamescom I didn't particularly care for. I thought it was a little bit too
A little
much
dry.
talking. It was a little dry.
Yeah.
Spending 30 minutes on Grounded 2. I know Grounded 2 is a successful game, but I mean, the game. I mean, it was different for me. I guess I wasn't expecting. I was expecting, them to have a deep dive on maybe some newer games, and they had a couple of games they had a deep dive on, but it was, it was a little not great for me. But I thought the like Jeff Keighley show was okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. My game of the show, I believe it's called Toxic Commando.
Yeah, dude,
that game looked awesome. So yeah,
that's the George Romero one. Yes.
No, I thought it was John Carpenter.
Is it John Carpenter? No, I said, you know what? Let me look it up.
I thought it was John Carpenter. One of us is
Carpenter.
Wrong.
I'm pretty sure
John
it's Carpenter.
It is. So I said George Romero. He's a zombie guy also. But yes, that I did see it, bro. That looks like when you get down with your boys on that looks dope.
Yeah. No. Well, aside of Cypher, I'm not hating on Grounded. It's just I thought they talked about it a little bit too long for a game that's that's been out for a while. But anyway, yeah, that was my game of the show. There was another, like, what was the Resident Evil? The
Requiem.
No, I mean, not the actual Resident Evil game, but it was another one that I thought was Resident Evil Requiem, but it wasn't, and that one looked pretty good too. I can't think of the name of it. Somebody help me out in the chat if you can.
I'll find it.
I thought that game looked pretty good. So there was a couple of games that really intrigued me, and I thought the show was okay. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was okay. It was some stuff to watch, some nice announcements. Like you said, Prince of Persia was a surprise. Nice shadow drop in Game Pass. So yeah, so those are things that I liked about the show. I wasn't able to look at it like I wanted to because I was kind of busy, kind of half sleep because it was kind of early here. No, that was Gamescom. I'm sorry, that was Gamescom this morning. But yeah, it was okay. Tormented Souls, is that the game that I'm thinking of that was Resident Evil at first? I believe that was the name of it. But yeah, I did enjoy that one. That one looked pretty good also. But we're gamers here. I get excited to watch gaming shows.
Yeah.
Even if the show isn't like great, just seeing a few games that is something I wasn't expecting and something that interests me, it makes me happy. So yeah, that's how the show was to me. Not a fantastic show, but it was okay. Yeah.
I mean, so for you, what again? What I love about these shows is, and how I've always rated them, and I've heard other people say this, and we're not copying one another. It's how a lot of gamers, especially when you support multiple platforms, right? I support everything except for PC, and that's fine. But when you can have an event, and even though Opening Night Live, it's its own entity, it's Opening Night Live for Gamescom, it's still a part of Gamescom. So far we have 2 days of showcase. One was led by Jeff with a lot of third party, and a lot of platform based content from Xbox and from everyone else, which is awesome. And of course today was Xbox focused because they had their thing, and they're going to have a follow up day 2 tomorrow. I always walk away knowing whether or not I enjoyed the event or not. When I can look at the list of games or see, they show you 20, 30, 40 games in the last 2 days. There's been a lot of content intake. Yeah. If I can walk away and say, I want to either buy, play, or own half of those games, it's a really good show. And like I said, there is some games don't hit for me. Grounded 2, for instance, I was offered a code, and I said no because I don't play Grounded. I don't want to take the code just to take the code, because then right. I'm doing a disservice to Xbox because they're looking for me to give an opinion, and that's not right. So
why don't you play Grounded, man? It's so good.
You know what? It's just not for me, man. I don't like the building, and you know what? I mean, I'm playing through Gears of War Reloaded. I was very happy to take that code. I can't speak on it to the 26th, but I'm playing through it right now. But like Grounded, I'm so happy that people are enjoying it. Honestly, it's phenomenal. And you got to remember, this was a passion project that I think was originally, the team was 14 people for Grounded 1. It was something so small, and it has exploded on the scene, and they got a sequel. And you know what? I've heard people say this, Jared. I've even heard you say this, but man, can we give a round of applause for Obsidian?
Yeah,
3 games in one freaking year. And they're not small games.
Right.
Like all 3 games with Avowed, which is still my game of the year. I will say this, that companion video that they put out for Outer Worlds 2, it looked so. I mean, I want to have all of them on my team. There wasn't one character I was like, that one's just kind of a throwaway. I want to know about every one of them. So again, I'm a big nerd for this stuff, Dirt. I get excited. If I had to ask you what your top 3 games were, what would they be, man?
Okay. Like I said, Toxic Commando, that was up there. I'm trying to remember some of the other games.
What about Lego Batman? That's
you know what? That's the one. I thought that looked pretty good. I'm not really into Lego games, but that one looked pretty good. And somebody I don't know who has showed some gameplay of it earlier. That might be the first Lego game I might actually think about buying because it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Yeah, that game is definitely top 3 because that was the first game Jeff showed, wasn't it? Was that?
It was one of them, yeah. And
no,
again,
it wasn't. It was Call of Duty was the first.
Yeah, Black Ops 7, which looks.
I'll be honest.
It was a pre-show with a whole bunch of stuff too, right? But
yes.
See, I missed the pre-show. Like I did see the He-Man stuff though.
He-Man, that was in the pre-show.
I would say Black Ops 7 because I thought this this Call of Duty was going to be a smaller one this year. Because
this looks bigger than 6, dude. It really does.
It impressed me. I was like, okay, it looks better than I thought it was going to be. Because some people was telling me it was going to be like a small one, like Modern Warfare 3 was. Kind of a rush job of a Call of Duty game just to have it on the
DLC turned into, for money.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be. But this one looks like it's going to be its own thing, man. Like, so I'm definitely impressed with that. So I would say those are probably my 3 of the game, 3 games of the show: Batman, Toxic Commando, and Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
I mean, great picks. Definitely great picks. Hargate, let's bring you into the conversation, brother. Again, this is one of the biggest shows of the year, right? I mean, I know that it's basically the E3 of Europe, right? It has been like that for years. Hundreds of thousands of people attend this. It's the most foot traffic, I think, out of any show. And Xbox is there once again in a big way. Jeff, again, for a lot of people, some people really liked his show. I liked Opening Night Live. I really did. Again, who would have thought that a character, a side-scrolling beat 'em up based on an 80s character would be my game of the show? Probably not, but that's fine because I'm an old man and I like that kind of stuff. Black Ops 7 impressed. It really did. I think, to Dirt's point, it did quiet a lot of the criticism. I kept seeing people, especially in the games media, say exactly what Dirt was suggesting, that, it's just going to be a throwaway, or it's just going to be an add-on turned into a moneymaker. And like I just said moments ago, I actually think Black Ops 7 is even bigger than 6. And what's interesting about it, and I cannot wait to see how they tell the story. My favorite Black Ops of all time is 2. It has been for years. Now, that changed with 6. Black Ops 7 is not only a sequel to Black Ops 2, it is a sequel to Black Ops 6. It's a sequel to 2 games, which is freaking awesome. But you know what, Hargy, let's get your thoughts on Opening Night Live, Gamescom so far. And you know what's interesting, and again, I know I'm all over the place, folks. I just got an article that I saw that IGN is going to have a big blowout of Replaced tomorrow. Yes, I cannot wait for that game. It looks so freaking good. Let's get your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so first you have to take it for what it is. Gamescom's like Opening Night Live is not a full showcase thing. It's always been kind of the sideshow, and it's never been that like impressive. Anyway, taking that into account, this was pretty good in comparison to many of the other ones. I didn't like a lot of the games in there because I don't really care about horror games, and it was very horror heavy. So
yes,
great for those gamers who love horror games. I understand, and like you have RE, you have Silent Hill, you have a whole bunch of other ones in there. Was that Chronos? And like there's a whole bunch, right? Like fine, fair. But every time one of those is on, I'm like, I don't care. It just does nothing for me. I just don't care. And so like it just totally detracts, and I'm like, okay, well, when's the next one? Thankfully, I watched it after because I was working during the day, so I could just skip through those.
you can fast forward through everything.
Did not care. He still did a lot of like interviewing things, which were like, okay, yeah. I was gonna skip the song, but actually the song was pretty good. That was the Claire Obscure song. That was actually pretty well done. But anyway, it was, so for those who love like horror games, I'm sure this was like a B+A, right? But to me, it was kind of a C+B-.
That's fair.
And I just want to be like, it's like Dirt had it at a 7. I give it a little bit more than that, but it's just not, it wasn't as good for me. But for me, standout game was Lego. It was Lego Batman. I'm like, Lego's back. Right, yes. We've got like multiple Lego games coming out, right now, and we have Lego Batman giving you like a full Batman story. Like this was just awesome. They're doing like all this extra stuff on the combat. Now I'm the opposite of I play all the Lego games except for Star Wars because I will not touch Star Wars. But I play all the Lego games, so I'm totally excited. This is awesome. First, it's a Batman game. Second, it's a Lego game, and it's like a true Lego game, unlike that stupid, ridiculous monstrosity called Lego Horizon, which was not even a Lego game. It was just Lego characters in a game that was really just Lego. I mean, sorry, this was just like Horizon with more cheeky, useless dialogue than even the actual game. So anyway, it was just so bad. I don't know how the heck that game came out. But anyway, it did come out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That was definitely my game of the show. It was so fun to see that happening. But yeah, as far as other games that I thought were cool, there's plenty of stuff there that was still good. And so I don't want to totally throw it away, but seeing the indie, the DLC,
that looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's got me intrigued. Do I want to go back in? Right, I finished the game. Do I want to go back in? It looks pretty good. There's a bunch of like what you call it, action games. Standard Dark Souls-y type Souls games that are being announced. Like, okay, cool. There's another China project, right? That came out. We'll see how that is. They did the next Black Myth, right? It's the sequel to Black Myth Wukong. That looks okay. That looks pretty good. I'm just trying to think of which one I would say would be my third game. But people will call me a freaking fanboy, but it's probably going to be either Ninja Gaiden or Outer Worlds 2, just because they still show the other stuff out there. Like, it's cool, but like I don't know. It's tough to actually like get into some of these things for me for some reason. I think Time Takers looked kind of interesting. I don't know what the full concept is, but it kind of seemed weird. So, but like again, I don't know. This is kind of the problem with these. So I don't know if there was anything that was that like, so the beauty of like, Xbox is a Game Pass effect. It's like, oh, it's coming to Game Pass. I'll give it a chance. Right. Whereas here it's like, do I want to shell out $70 for this? Like, I can't even finish this stuff in Game Pass. So it has to really call out to me. There was another one that was kind of interesting. They had this platformer Bubsy thing, right? So
the 4D. I played Bubsy for years.
Bubsy 3D was the worst game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, it was bad. It was. I think it was on the Jaguar too. It was terrible.
I played it on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, look, and there were other games that were, like worldwide reveals and whatever. Okay. I'm very, very interested in this multiplayer co-op for Black Ops 7. That is freaking awesome. Co-op is back in Call of Duty. Yes.
Big way, dude. Yes.
Yes. 4-player co-op. Hell yeah. I can't wait to get into that. That was a fantastic reveal for me. Like I don't play the multiplayer stuff. I don't care. It's just not for me. But the campaign I play, and when they had co-op before, it was great. I loved playing co-op campaign, and now they kind of sidelined that for a while. They're bringing it back. Yes, I don't know if that's Xbox. What was that?
What was the last game that actually had co-op and COD?
Oh gosh,
Holy
I think
crap.
it was a Black Ops. I think it was like 2 or something.
It's been a minute. It might have, dude. You're actually right. It might have been 2.
Yeah,
on a 360.
Was it 360?
Black Ops 2 was on a 360. Yeah,
I think it might have been.
Wow.
No, I played one on the Xbox One that was co-op.
Oh, okay.
Which one was that?
Oh, Black Ops 3. Okay. Yeah, that was Xbox.
Yeah, one of them on Xbox One. I'm pretty sure was
yep.
co-op. I can't remember which one it is, but I think it was a Black Ops though. I think that's the one that usually does it. But yeah, I enjoy that. I can't wait to do
you're
that
right.
again.
2015 Black Ops 3. Yep.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that was a great announcement for me. So I was like, yeah, heck yeah. So I'd love to do that. I'm gonna play that co-op. Absolutely. So yeah, that was kind of it. Right? I don't know. Overall, it was okay. It was good. Again, I'm giving it a pretty decent grade. You know, C+, B-. That's pretty good, right? It's like 78 to 80, something like that, in that range. So I think that's pretty good. You know, it wasn't a disappointment. It could have been absolutely garbage. It wasn't. There was a lot of good stuff there. Unfortunately, a lot of it happened to be like horror games that I'm like, oh, okay. And then a lot of like, there's another, what was it called? Sword something, like China Project thing, right? Another Wu Chang looking game.
Yeah.
So okay, it looks cool. Whatever. Swords of Legend, whatever, right? So again, it looks cool. Whatever, you know. But I don't know if we're just kind of, I don't know if I'm getting, you know, a little fatigued from all of those being the same kind of game, but we'll see, right? So
it's funny you say that, because we know that you know, Phil and Sarah are out at the China Joy event, right? And we know that some of those types of games are going to be coming to Xbox, and that's amazing. I am going to say that those types of games are getting a little long in the tooth, because
that's the problem, right?
They're punishing. Right. And I don't know about you guys. I can only take getting beaten in the head so many times where I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's great. Looks great. I don't have the time for this. Right.
Yeah.
So I
kind of where we are now, right? It's like, if this game isn't
Yes.
pulling me, like, okay, dude, I got so much more in my backlog here. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
It's how it was with Wu Chang for me. I got to the first boss. Got beat up pretty bad, uninstalled it immediately. I'm done.
Because there's only so much time in a day. You know, obviously you're not retired like me, so you're still working. So you got to find time to do your multiple podcasts per week. You're a family guy. You got to get a family. You got to work. It's who has time to spend 17 hours on a boss? I don't.
I hear you.
Like, not to mention these games. I just finished Final Fantasy 16, man. It took me like 70 something hours, bro.
That game is long. That's why I didn't get involved. Looks great.
It was good though, but it was
enjoyed it, but it's just too long.
I'm still finishing Persona 3. My goodness, it takes
That's
forever.
another one ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Like Stalker 2 was another one of those games that never ended.
I did get that.
Assassin's Creed Shadows was another game that never wanted to end. Like, come on, bro.
Oh my god, that game! Holy crap! Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, it's you know, we have, before we, you know, obviously we're almost at the hour mark. We're gonna spend another 15-20 minutes here, folks. Again, it's a bit of a shorter show. I know there's a lot going on, but I have one additional topic that I kind of want to. It's a little smoke for Square. And it's an announcement I was anticipating because I'm a fan. Fell completely flat, but I want to give you my top 3, because obviously the game of the show so far, and I know, again, a lot of people, you may agree, you may disagree, is He-Man. I'm a side-scrolling beat-em-up guy. You've heard me talk about this before. Aliens versus Predator, still my most favorite side-scrolling beat-em-up from the arcades. Oh, wow. I'm waiting for the gaming gods to answer me. Capcom, listening to the show, maybe will bring that forward. The only actual official version of that game I don't know if you guys remember this. They released a controller that said Capcom, and it had two sticks on it. It literally the words Capcom. It was a plug and play joint. I think it came out 3 or 4 years ago. Go look it up. You'll laugh. It's the logo for Capcom, except it's a fighting stick, and it had a bunch of games on it. I think it was like 20 games. One of those games was Aliens versus Predator. Like, go freaking figure. So odd, but yeah, it's one of my favorites. So that's one of my games of the show. Invincible blew me away. That
looked pretty good, yeah.
My God, the brutality of Invincible versus was just crazy. It just was absolutely insane. And what I thought, and this is going to be segued into the last topic of the show, was going to be my game of the show simply because I beat it in Japanese using FAQs that I printed out from my, I think, I don't even know, was it Amiga that I had? I don't even remember what PC I had back in the days. Final Fantasy VII. I adore that game. It is the first game that made a teenager at the time, or not even a teenager, probably in my 20s, cry. Because obviously there's something that maybe I'm not going to spoil it for anyone if you've never even played it, but something happens that just, bro, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what just happened here? And that, honestly, I almost feel like the Final Fantasy VII Xbox situation is a living meme. Like, I feel like it's the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened in gaming, right? Like, we know that this thing was locked up for years because of the Sony deal, right? Like there's no doubt that Square got the short end of the stick with this. There is no even a question. I think where we get into meme territory is it gets announced for the Switch 2 before the freaking Xbox Series consoles. And like, okay, it's fine. It's eventually going to get announced. Gamescom. They say Final Fantasy is going to be there. Oh, yes. We're going to get a release date. You know what we got? We got Ugats. That's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. We had Oki Hamaguchi basically come out and, have a small presentation, and no release dates, coming this winter. And they also mentioned that it's going to be certified for the ROG Ally X. Awesome, right? Awesome. But the fact that we didn't get that, when the screen popped up and it says Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming this winter, the Xbox Cloud, Xbox on PC, and Xbox Series X, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So again, I know some people when I was watching this live, sure, it's probably going to get announced at Tokyo Game Show. That makes like perfect sense. But I mean, why even show up? You know what I'm saying? Like and again, this is, no one likes to end on a bummer topic, but if I don't say this, I'm going to hate myself, folks. I mean, I get accused of, patting Xbox on the ass when they make mistakes and being easy with them. I don't think that I am. I give them smoke when they deserve it. This is one of those things that I give smoke for. Like, you made this big to-do about Final Fantasy VII Intergrade being there, and we get a small presentation coming this winter. I'm sorry, folks. That to me is an L. Now, maybe a lot of people don't care about it. Maybe you in the chat don't care about it, but I happen to care about it because I have it. I have it right here. I have the collector's edition for the PS4. It's fine, but I want to play it on my Xbox. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know. I mean, again, apologies for a bummer topic, but if I don't say it, I'm going to hate myself. Dirt, let's get your thoughts on this, because I really believe that this is kind of like a running meme. I'm sorry.
Well, Boom, I got to be real with you, brother. It didn't bother me as much as it bothers you.
And that's fine. That is absolutely fine, dude.
Yeah, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you. I'm looking forward to the game because Final Fantasy 16 was the first Final Fantasy game I ever finished. So I'm definitely looking forward to Final Fantasy 7 remake. And I don't know, man. It just seems like maybe because there's so many games coming out this fall, they're trying to find the right time to announce it or like the right day to drop it. I don't know, man. It didn't bother me that much. They did say winter. Now, did they say winter 2025 or just winter?
No, it's well, that's funny you say that. It basically says coming this winter.
So that can be like January or February 2026, right?
I mean, it technically could. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So me personally, it didn't bother me as much. I'm just excited that the game has come to Xbox because, like you said, that game was locked down. PlayStation locked it down from the beginning of the generation. I remember they showed the game. Was it 2015 at E3 2015?
Yeah, actually, the year of dreams for PlayStation, if I recall, was 2016. Where they showed
it was
Crash
one of those years.
It was a big year for Sony.
It was Spider-Man. It was a big deal. Yeah. It was a big deal. Actually, I think that was 2015 because 2016 was another good show. They had Spider-Man, God of War, but I believe it was 2015. Cause I remember seeing videos of people crying. Like they're redoing Final Fantasy 7.
Dude,
So it was a big deal, but just to know that it's finally coming to Xbox and moving forward. Everything is most likely coming to Xbox from Square Enix damn date. I think the multi-platform exclusive stuff with PlayStation is over. So, I mean, I know you're a little disappointed by the boom, but I'm okay with it because now I know the game is coming. Because I actually had somebody hit me in the DMs like, yo, man, where's Final Fantasy 7? And as soon as he said that, they showed, the trailer for it. So, and it looks pretty good. So I'm excited for it.
I mean, again, not a big topic. We have a couple of things that we can add on the back end, so we don't want to end on a bummer topic. But actually, we do have some breaking news that we'll get into momentarily because this one is hot. And I would hate myself as a host not to talk about it. But Hargeet, before we get to the hotness topic, and this one's going to get everyone excited because it got me excited. What are your thoughts on the Final Fantasy? I thought it fell so flat for me, and maybe because I'm a nerd, I'm super excited for it. I always loved Final Fantasy VII. It was done so well when it came out on PS4. Integrate came out. They get the upgrade for PS5. Looks and runs phenomenal. I know a lot of people were bummed out because it was cut into 3 parts. It's fine. But again, I just think it's a running meme at this point. That's just this.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to capture each audience, right? So they did announce in the US, capture the US audience. They went to Europe. Hey, European players, you also get this, just to let you, a reminder, let you know this is coming. And I think you're right. Japan is probably the place you get the actual release date, right? Tokyo Game Show, and that's to entice the Japanese audience that, hey, Xbox has these games too, right? So I think that's all it is. I like Dirt. I think, whatever.
Yeah. It's just a meme thing, I think.
Yeah, I have this game on PC, haven't started it. I don't know if it comes to Xbox, will I buy it? I don't know. The better thing is, would it come to Xbox and go to Game Pass? That'd be freaking awesome. But we'll see. Whatever. It's so old. When did that come out? Was it like 2016, 15? I think it come out a long time ago.
17, 18,
16, 17.
Maybe 19. Yeah. I don't know.
It was a long time ago. When did that come out? Do we know?
I think it was 2019.
It was a long time ago.
I think it was 2019.
2019, right? So yeah, so it's like 6 years, like whatever. Like you though, Final Fantasy 16 is the first one I finished. I played 4 a long time ago on PC and didn't finish it. But and I've never been able to get into one and just stick with it for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
But 16, seemed to work for me. So,
I enjoyed it. I really did like it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, it's the first one I ever finished. It was good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to 7. I hear it's one of the best, right? So maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I have it. I haven't tried it yet. So I don't know. Like it's just not that big a deal to me. So whatever. Shenmue 3 is coming to Xbox. That's kind of
Dude, that I'm buying that. That's not even a question. Yeah.
I heard Shenmue 3 was terrible, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or
I
bad,
have
but
the
whatever.
first two. I got to complete my collection.
Yes.
I never did finish I never did really finish the second one because I finished the first one. I played the second one on the original Xbox, but never did finish
it. So yeah, kind of excited about that. By the way, super chats. I don't know if you want to get into those or.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to super chats now. And again, shout out to everybody that did drop a super chat. Super appreciate that. But again, it's a me thing. I wanted to kind of make mention of it. Not a big topic of the show. Obviously, it means more to me than to Dirt and Hargy, and that's fine. That's because I'm such a fan, and it's two things I expected to happen to really like put this Xbox showcase on another level, and they both failed. Again, we did get the release date for ROG. Awesome. It's coming October 16th, which is right around the corner. But the official price, which we all kind of know, it's $900, and that's fine. But the pre-order thing kind of soured me a bit because everybody wants to pre-order it. I want to get mine locked in. Nothing. And then of course I'm like, okay, well at least we have Final Fantasy VII. Nothing. So it had some good things, but it had two downers for me. But let me catch up on super chats. We have Adidas 20, our generous friend of the program. He drops a very generous $2 super chat. He says, 3 goats on the panel. Hargeet, send the olives. And I think he's talking about, of course, C-Money. So there you go. Bounty in the chat, who's been a channel member, folks. This is crazy. 50 months.
Yo, Bounty man.
That is crazy, brother. Thank you so much for the ridiculous support. He goes on to say, one of the mean things that got me on this handheld is that you can play offline even games on Game Pass. Yeah, I mean they did talk about that. There's going to be an offline mode, and that was something that they really Jason Ronald actually made mention of that during the Xbox podcast. Which again, if you missed that, it's 33 minutes. Yeah, a lot of really good stuff in there. I mean, like a lot of big pieces of information, Dirt. So, but yeah, if you again go check it out. It's the one by Xbox podcast. It had both Jasons on there from Xbox, and it was, again, it's a good watch. I've watched it twice. We also have Kale Walker, who's been a channel member, no short of 50 months, 49 months. So Kale Walker, thank you so much for the support. He says, Dirt, how did you feel about the length of the show? Be honest. Pause. That's a giant pause there, brother.
Yeah, that's what I had. A couple times on my podcast, I said, man, like the game was too long or something like that. So they always mess with me now because I said that.
Shout out to Kale Walker. We also have Mac22 in the chat. Mac, great to see you here, brother. Thank you for the very generous $5 super chat. He says, opening night live. Boom, I'm sorry. I couldn't disagree with you more about the show. At least you got a super chat out of it. Oh, my goodness. I appreciate the generosity, brother. I actually like the show. And again, I don't need the entire show to hit. And maybe I'm even, I'm super excited because of the He-Man thing. But there were a lot of games there. Like, I think Chronos looks freaking
fantastic,
insane. I'm a horror guy. I know Hargeet's like he can care less, but that has some Dead Space energy right there, brother. And that's what I'm talking about. Black Ops 7, opened up the show, looked really, really good. So, no sweat, Mac. Appreciate you being here, brother. We have DJ Birdo _DOS in the chat. He drops a very generous $2 super chat. Thanks so much for that, brother. Super appreciate the generosity. He says, for the love of Joe, hit the like button, Dirt. Oh, no, he says, hit the like button, Dirt. So you got to say,
hit the like button.
There you go. I can't see it like you, brother. So there you go. And yes, if you do watch any of his videos, make sure you do hit the like button because he works super hard. And you and Sean have been on a tear with your freaking videos, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
Like I understand. Sean on another level. Like he's been one after another after another.
Yeah, especially since he took a break for a whole year doing regular videos. So
yeah.
But,
so good
after
everybody, man.
After all the stuff with PlayStation going multi-plat, that totally motivated him to do more content. So and he's been talking a lot of trash. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what you guys do, man. I love
That's
it.
what we do, man.
So, folks, here is the breaking news. This is hotness, and then we'll get everyone out of here. There's a rumor, and it's getting stronger by the minute. Forza Horizon 6 in Japan, and apparently there was an Australian car importer. Their name is Cult and Classic, claimed on Instagram that a Forza dev was scanning. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's KEI Cars. So it's K. I guess it's K Cars. And apparently he was also scanning Suzuki and every Suzuki there, as well as Subaru, the Sumbar, for the next Forza Horizon. This post has been deleted since the story broke. Where do you think this game is going to take place? Look, I'm going to say this right now. Is this a confirmation that Forza Horizon 6 is going to be in Japan? No. But it makes sense. Like, if you're going to go somewhere, that's the place to go. That's where I want them to go. I know some people said that there was other places in Europe. Look, I love Europe, and I love the people there. But they've already had they've had their way, right? That was already in Europe already. Mexico was phenomenal. It's time for Japan. I think everybody in this chat wants Japan. I don't think I'm the only one. And Dirt, let's get your thoughts on this, because this is one of the big three that are happening, and this isn't a suggestion. We talk about being unable to keep up with the games in 2025, right? It is to the point where there are so many games you have to pick a lane and just stay in it. That's how I am, because I'm missing out on some stuff, and I'm saddened by it. But there's only so much time in a day.
Right.
We know that next year, at least for Xbox, is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Forza, Gears, and Halo are going to lead the charge. But sticking with Forza Horizon 6 in Japan would be a bomb-like announcement. Let's get your thoughts on the rumor, or the furthering of the rumor, that they're out there scanning cars that are native to Japan.
Yeah. Listen, man, I think you're absolutely right what you said. Playground games, they know what people want.
Yeah.
People been asking for Japan since part 3. They've been asking for Japan, and this Forza Horizon part 6 is going to be incredible. This is the longest development cycle they've ever had. This is going to be 5-year development cycle. Remember, during the Xbox One gen, they were dropping Forza Horizons every 2 years, and those games were phenomenal. Now, this one, if this is true, which we are hoping that it is, this is going to do really well. I'm expecting it to be everywhere day one, on other platforms day one. If this is true, I think this is going to do huge in Japan, all over the world. This is going to be big. And I truly believe, part of me really thinks it is going to be in Japan. At this point, people will be super disappointed if it's not in Japan, because that's what people are expecting at this point. So, yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Playground games, those guys are awesome, and they're going to have 2 games next year, man.
Yeah, they are. And something, both games could be game of the year quality.
Yeah, definitely, bro. So,
I mean, you're going to have Fable, right? And you're going to have, again, it's just, you've said this so many times on your show that they have so many games in development, it's almost unfair. Yeah. Like, it is just to the point where, I mean, you heard Matt Booty, like, after the layoffs, people were concerned about games, and they're like, he confirmed they have 40 games in development, 40 in development. And that is obviously going to be 26, 27, and maybe even to 28. Who freaking knows? But it's been a year already for Xbox. I mean, but by end of year, if you add the Keeper, they're going to have a dozen games released, Xbox Game Studios, across multiple platforms. Like, that is just wild output, right? But yeah, I'm right there with that's it. That's a very interesting way to look at it. I think that as excited as we are for the next Forza Horizon, and I think it's going to be ginormous no matter where it goes. I think ultimately the big conversation will be the fact that if it's not Japan, people are going to be disappointed.
People are going to be super
disappointed.
Yeah.
I'll be certainly one of them. I think that it's time. And I almost feel that it's in the same conversation of what Assassin's Creed finally getting to Japan. Like that is where we've all wanted it, and it's there. So, no, good points all around, Dirt. Hardgeek, before we get out of here, I want to get your thoughts on this because obviously this is a rumor, but someone actually had said in the chart in the chat that if you're out there scanning these cars, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, it's KEI cars, then it's going to be Japan. I mean that.
Yeah, I don't know about that because like they're cars, right? And you have to have cars. Like all those car manufacturers are in all the Forza games, right? So I want to be careful to assume just because you're scanning the cars that it means it's in Japan, right? They're going to go. I mean, that doesn't mean like if you're in Japan, you're not going to have, American cars or European cars or, Korean cars or whatever, right? It's going to be everything, I'm sure. So I just want to be careful with that. Now, would it make sense to be in Japan? Sure. It's something everybody's wanted. So why not do it? But that's really up to them. And up to now, it's hard to argue with that team. Playground has just nailed it every time. It's very hard to argue with them. So like whatever they come up with, I'll just take it. I'm really looking forward to what they do with Fable. Yeah, with Fable. It's so far it's looking good, but you never know until it comes out. So I just want to see what they do. This is a new thing for them. But two big games coming from them. It's kind of like already announced in a way, right? Because we have Phil saying we're going to have Forza, Halo, Gears, Fable, coming out next year. So we have the big
K3 too. I mean,
the big four that he mentioned already, right, are coming next year. So that means those two are coming out. And now with the status we have with Turn 10, presumably there's no new Forza Motorsport. It is going to be Horizon. So like Dirt, you were saying, that's two games coming from that studio. Two big games coming from that studio next year. Much like Obsidian, right? They're playing that game this time of being the provider of two big games. Obsidian giving us a third as well. But hey, and as we know, like when we have a whole bunch of other games too, but is it possible that one is in Japan? Sure, it is possible. But just because they're scanning cars, just remember that is a normal process as far as every Forza game. You're going to need to scan cars, right? It's just the way it is. And Japan obviously has massive car manufacturers, and they would absolutely would go there to get those. I think it might just be that, right? Until you tell me, hey, they're going to this track, or they're going to this road, or they're going to this area that's famous for some racing stuff, right? I'd say, oh yeah, it's absolutely happening, right? But if outside of that, if it's just the cars, like I don't know if I could really take that as just confirmation of it being in Japan. So those are my thoughts. Unfortunately, I don't know if it really brings it to.
No, I mean it's a fair take. I mean, obviously, what they do is scan hundreds, if not thousands, of cars.
Exactly.
Since inception. So I mean, we know that it's what they do to get those cars into the game. It's just that they. If you remember, right before the all of the announcement, what happened with Motorsport, they did just add that big Japan map, right? I mean, like track. I said map, but track. So they're there, and I think Dirt really did hit the nail on the head. They know what people are asking for, and look, I mean, I think Dirt's onto something when he says that it's probably going to be day and date for everyone. And I don't think he's wrong. I think after what we've seen, I mean, crying out loud, a 4-year-old game is the best-selling game on PlayStation 5 this year. It's just insane. And it's probably going to wind up topping out as their best-selling game. Who knows where it goes? It's 3, 4, 5, 6 million by the end of the year. But
I think the best is still going to be, and almost always is Call of Duty. It's going to probably win.
Oh yeah, as far as, it's Call of Duty, and it's going to sell like hotcakes, like it did last year.
That's true.
So,
But
what do you mean? Like Ghost of Yote won't be the best-selling PlayStation game this year? Is that what you guys are saying?
You almost had me. I almost spit it out.
I mean, look.
What did you guys think of that trailer?
I think it's fine. I'm excited for the game. I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to play the game. I don't know if I'm going to platinum it like I did with Ghost of Tsushima, because Ghost of Tsushima I could not put down. I have to play this. I have to see. I like the different weapons, so I am going to say that having all those different weapons is dope. I know a lot of people are upset about the stances. I don't mind that. I'll take the weapons over the stances. That's just me, but again, that's fine. Let me just make sure I'm caught up on all of the super chats, and yes, I am. So, folks, that's gonna do it for us here. Again, this was a little bit all over the place kind of a show because there's a lot going on, and I didn't want to just focus in. I mean, we could have spent an hour talking about ROG Ally. There's so much like information. It's on my brain is on overload. I have notes upon notes upon notes, but again, we got to talk about everything. And hopefully you liked the conversation enough to hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing on your way out the door. Dirk Riggy, let's sell the brand, because obviously not only is the We Bleed Green podcast one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to each and every week, I love the talent that comes the way of the one-man dark man. Like you and Mav are the best in the business when it comes to being in front of that camera, solo dolo, and you guys do such an amazing job doing it. So please sell the brand. Where can people continue to help your channel grow, get some more subs to your YouTube channel, and more importantly, follow you on social media?
Oh, well, thank you, Boom. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. So, guys, if you love console war content, if you don't like PlayStation fanboys too much, I'm the channel for you. Honestly, I just have a lot of fun, man.
You guys have fun with it, and I get a laugh out of it, man.
Yeah, we don't take it too serious. We're just having fun, but we are genuine Xbox fans, and we're gamers, and we love video games, and we just try to be entertaining and have a lot of fun, man. So thank you, Boom, and everybody for allowing me to come on the show today. I appreciate that. I was supposed to come on like a couple weeks ago. Stuff happened, man, but here now. So yeah, thanks, bro. And check me out on Twitter at Griggity, GRIGGITY, and that's about it, man. Thank you, guys.
Well, I have to ask the question because he posed it in the chat. 80 Metamatic says, underneath that hoodie, Dirt is wearing his Mario onesie. Is this true, sir?
No, it's not. I can't. There was one episode of TTS. I had a red T-shirt with a Detroit Piston jersey over the red T-shirt, so it kind of looks like the Detroit Piston jersey kind of looked like the Mario overall.
The suspended.
Yes, and the red shirt. So they Dirt wearing a Mario outfit. And that was like what, earlier this year, and they just
let's go.
Oh, there you go. Come on,
oh man, you know what? You can always expect Hargy to throw that in there. I love it. That's good stuff. So, Dirt brother, it's great to work with you as always. Again, congratulations on the continued success. What you guys do every week is so much fun. I very much enjoy it, and I enjoy helping promote it because again, it's it's pointed, it's fun. It's never meant to be mean or disingenuous. You guys have fun with it.
Yeah, we have fun.
And again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My favorite is the POS of the week. God, it is just some people really have earned that trophy. I wish you had the money that you can mail out, that piece of shit as a trophy in bronze and send it to some of those people.
I mean, they're not that expensive if you want to do
it. Yeah, I've been overwhelmed with POSs of the week every week, man.
I know,
so many. I started off like when I first started doing it, I started with 1. Then it evolved to 3. The last month I've been having like 7.
It's been a lot, but you know what? I got to be honest. You don't make the list if you don't earn it. So,
listen, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, I appreciate that though.
But listen, brother, enjoy your evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Hargy China, let's sell the brand, brother, because obviously last year you did something that none of us have done, and you wrote a book and you released it. And it's called Emergence. If you like Mass Effect, you'd probably really like this book. But you also have a YouTube channel, and it's a YouTube channel that had the reveal of E-Day when we were, in the room, ass and seat, and you're closing on, if you haven't already, 100,000 views. Like that is just crazy, dude. And I was happy to get the 25 grand that I got from it. You got over nearly 100. Tell the brand, brother, where can people subscribe to your YouTube channel, find you on other programs, but more importantly, potentially buy your book?
Yeah, so if you want to pick up my book, thanks for the plug there. It's shop.china.us. My channel is HargeetShiny1 on YouTube. Check that out if you want to. And yeah, hopefully this weekend we'll finally be back with Fawns. But before that, I'll be on with C Money and Doodle on Friday at 8 p.m. ish, and then hopefully with Fawns we'll be back on Saturday at 7 p.m. ish. Fawns Gaming, and then with Web Dave on Sunday. And I just love this song from. From Sir Bruvian. Hilarious. If you guys haven't heard it, Sir Bruvian put that out there. It was really, really funny. Check out that song. But anyways, yeah, well, check me out. We'll be back next week. I'm sure Gamescom will be done, and maybe we'll even have a price for the ROG Ally, and we can start pre-ordering next week. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to that as well. And of course, this year has been crazy for news. Like every time you think there's going to be some sort of a lull, there's like earth-shattering news. And again, it's just even more so than the news. Games. It has been an onslaught of games. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. A big thank you to all of these super chats, channel member chats, and gifted subs that continue to come in and support the channel, both upfront on the back end. Mrs. Boom and I do greatly appreciate it. We're always going to be appreciative of it. Of course, oh, you know what? It's funny. You mentioned C Money. Listen, folks, tomorrow, usually at noon, me and C Money do our, hour and a half podcast. There's not going to be a new show tomorrow. Mrs. Boom is on vacation for the rest of the week. There is going to be a new Breakfast with Boom, but there will not be a X-Vlog live tomorrow at noon. I'm going to throw it on the socials. We're going to go out and spend some alone time. We're going to go out and do some shopping, go out and have lunch. Just she doesn't get a chance to take off very often. So we're gonna make a day of it. And obviously my nephew, who is interning for me for the podcast, yes, he is doing that. He'll be opening and closing Breakfast with Boom on Friday morning. And of course, over the weekend, he's going to be staying over. He's going to be helping and learning how to layer the thumbnails. Like I've gotten super good with it. And some of my thumbnails, they're ridiculous. They have like 13 levels. And if you're an artist, you know that layering is a big part of animation and artwork. And I've taken that and I've used it now for the thumbnails, which I take super serious. And he's learning, and he's actually going to be taking a class next year in 11th grade for podcasting and social media, which is, I can't believe, a freaking thing. So of course, him interning is fun. He's enjoying it.
Career out there.
Yes, it is. It's funny. He always asks, "Oh, Theo, I want to be a podcast like you." I say, "No, aim higher, kid. Aim higher," and he laughs. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Once again, a big thank you to everyone that tuned in. Shout out to Hargeet Chani, Dirk Riggedy for joining me. And of course, folks, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids, and would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends.